Should women be allowed to decide for themselves what makes them happy? Or should men decide for women what makes women happy? Should women have any political rights? Should they be allowed to vote or run for public office? These are questions we would laugh at today. But back in 1791, 1792, the debate raged on. My name is Paul Pasulka, Ivy Masters Learning Center at ivymasters.com. And today we're going to look at Test 3, Section 1, number 39, which reads, which best describes the overall relationship between passage 1 and 2? And we go to the passage. We're not going to read the whole thing. We're going to look at some key points that help us to answer this question. So the main premise of this first passage, it's written by Talleyrand. He's a French diplomat. He says, if the exclusion from public employments, in other words, women are not allowed to work, decreed against women, by law they're not allowed to work, if that leads to a greater sum of mutual happiness for the two sexes, so if men and women are happier because women are not allowed by law to work, then this becomes a law that all societies have been compelled to acknowledge and sanction. He's saying all societies should have as a law that women are not allowed to work because it makes men and women collectively happier. He says it in pretty strong terms. If we skip down a little bit, we've got, it seems to us incontestable. You cannot argue against the fact that our common happiness, so men and women are happier, above all that of women, like we don't want to look just as women, look at men and women, requires that they never aspire to exercise political rights and functions. So once again, you can't argue against the fact that everyone's happier if women are not allowed to have any political rights. Let's see if passage 2 agrees or disagrees with that. Well, Wollstonecraft starts off contending, which means arguing for the rights of women. She's arguing for the rights of women. It sounds like her argument is opposite Talleyrand's argument in the first passage. Let's skip down a bit. Consider, address you as a legislator, whether when men contend for their freedom and be allowed to judge for themselves, respecting their own happiness, it not be inconsistent and unjust to subjugate women. So, men are allowed to decide for themselves what makes them happy. She's implying there that women should be able to decide for themselves what makes them happy, and women should not be treated as second-class citizens, subjugated there. And then in 81 to 83, in this style argued tyrants of every denomination, from the weak king to the weak father of the family. They're all eager to crush reason. So throughout this, she's presented a reasonable argument, and she's calling Talleyrand out. She's saying, you're weak, dude. And anyway, so do they agree? What do you think at this point? Answer choice A, passage 2 strongly challenges the point of view in passage 1. Looks like a great answer. Let's see what the other ones are. Passage 2 draws alternative conclusions from the evidence presented in passage 1. So saying, oh, this is good evidence, but I think that it should be presented a little bit of a different way. Now, in passage 2, she does quote passage 1, but she's challenging, she's calling Talleyrand out on the Constitution of France, and et cetera, et cetera. Answer choice A is a better answer. Answer choice B is almost right. Answer choice C, passage 2 elaborates on the proposal presented in passage 1. So if you elaborate on something, usually you're giving more evidence to support it, and that's clearly not the case here. And answer choice D, passage 2 restates in different terms the argument presented in passage 1. So basically the same argument in different words? Not at all. Thank you for joining us today. Correct answer here is A. If you like this video, click like. You could share it with someone who has trouble with these paired passage questions. If there's any question you'd like to see answered from any official PSAT or SAT or ACT, leave that in the comments. I'd be happy to shoot a video on it. And click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Have a great day.